Hey class, it's Miss T. Today we're going to be learning about some sustainability in agriculture. So our objective is to be able to critique the pros and cons of traditional agriculture techniques and compare with sustainable agriculture techniques. And we're going to ask ourselves, are all agricultural practices sustainable? So we have already learned about agriculture a little bit in our last lesson, but we're going to be talking today about aquaculture. So aquaculture, as you probably can think about, refers to water. So aquaculture is the breeding, rearing, and harvesting of animals and plants in all types of water environments, including ponds, rivers, lakes, and the ocean. So we use aquaculture for producing seafood that we eat, enhancing wild fish, shellfish, and plant stocks for harvest, restoring threatened and endangered aquatic species, rebuilding ecologically important shellfish habitats, producing nutritional and industrial compounds, and providing fish for aquariums. So, aquaculture is something that we work very closely with. Obviously, the seafood consumption is a big thing. A lot of people will eat seafood, but as a result of eating seafood, we need to restore those species that have been threatened and endangered by overharvesting. So, we want to talk about these things called fish hatcheries. Fish hatcheries are a place for artificial breeding, hatching, and rearing through the early life stages of animals. So hatcheries will produce larval or juvenile fish. So larval is the stage that they're in when they're just eggs, and juvenile are baby fish, shellfish, and crustaceans, primarily to support the aquaculture industry, where they are transferred to on-growing systems such as fish farms to reach harvest size. So, with fish hatcheries, some of these fish will be released back into their natural habitats, or there are other instances where they will go off to aquarium tanks, they'll go into larger fish farms. But fish hatcheries allow us to kind of create this artificial habitat for these fish, shellfish, and crustaceans. So, open ocean aquaculture is something we'll talk about. So, what happens is, the wild fish that are caught to feed farm fish, they put some pressure on those that are already there that depend on them for food. So there are times when parasites, pesticides, antibiotics, all these things, they flow out of these fish pens and they can affect wild fish and also the broader marine ecosystem. So this is what happens when fish hatcheries end up in open oceans. So as a result, some fish might escape, and these fish that escape, they can also compete for food on other fish. So fish who are naturally in that habitat, they also create additional waste in the ocean. And predators such as sea lions, sharks, birds, seals, all these things can also get stuck in the fish pens that are from fish hatcheries. And then obviously these fish that are not natural to the environment can also release diseases and parasites into the surrounding area to those who are naturally there. So I just want you guys to think about this. Aquaculture is really important, and it's important that we maintain our fish populations and crustacean populations and shellfish populations, but it can also have some detrimental effects where we are also harming the natural environments as a result of these open ocean fish hatcheries. That's it for today's lesson, super short. Make sure you complete the independent practice that goes along with this. And that is it. Thanks, guys.